All right, welcome back everyone for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about Chainlink.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, we received a request
Okay.
to discuss Chainlink crypto and its potential this season.
Right.
And I think this is really interesting
Yeah.
because Chainlink is kind of one of those things in the crypto space
Yeah.
that I feel like flies under the radar a little bit.
Absolutely. It's not as flashy as some of the other,
Right.
coins or tokens out
Yeah,
there.
you don't hear about like the
Yeah.
the big price swings or anything like that.
Exactly.
But it's incredibly important to the space.
It is. It's absolutely fundamental to how a lot of this
Right.
decentralized future that we're all
Yeah.
hoping for is going to work.
So maybe you could explain a little bit about
Sure.
what Chainlink is and what it does.
So, at its core, Chainlink is what's known as a decentralized oracle network.
Okay.
And now you might be thinking, what in the world is an oracle?
Right. I was going to say, that's not something you hear every day.
Yeah. It's not a crystal ball or a
Uh-huh.
fortune teller.
Yeah, no.
In the crypto world, an oracle is essentially a bridge between the blockchain
Okay.
and the real world.
Okay.
Because blockchains themselves are these amazing systems for
Yeah.
tracking data and executor code in a secure and transparent way.
Yeah.
But they're kind of isolated.
Right.
They don't have a direct way to access information that exists outside of the blockchain.
Okay, so that's where the oracles come in.
Exactly. So imagine you have a smart contract,
Okay.
which is essentially a piece of code that runs on the blockchain.
Right.
And let's say the smart contract needs to know the current price of something like
Mhm.
Ethereum in US dollars.
Okay.
Now, the blockchain itself doesn't have access to that information.
Right.
It's living out there on, cryptocurrency exchanges and financial websites.
Okay.
So what a Chainlink Oracle does is it goes out,
Yeah.
it fetches that data from multiple sources,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sure that the data is accurate and reliable, and then it feeds that data back to the smart contract on the blockchain.
So this is kind of a critical piece of the puzzle then, if we're talking about
Absolutely.
things like,
Yeah.
DeFi, decentralized finance and things like that.
Absolutely. If you're
Yeah.
going to have
Yeah.
decentralized applications that need to interact with real-world data,
Right.
you need a secure and reliable way to get that data onto the blockchain.
So essentially, Chainlink is kind of doing the legwork to make all of this stuff work.
It's the unsung hero.
Yeah.
It's the plumbing that makes the whole system flow.
So what are some of the other maybe specific examples
Sure.
of how Chainlink is being used or could be used in the future?
Well, we already touched on DeFi,
Right.
which is huge. It's one of the fastest growing areas of the crypto space.
Yeah.
And Chainlink is powering a lot of the key applications there.
Okay.
Things like lending platforms,
Hmm.
decentralized exchanges,
Right.
stable coins even. All of these rely on Chainlink oracles to provide accurate price feeds and other crucial data.
So without Chainlink, those applications.
They simply wouldn't be possible,
Wow.
at least not in the same way that we see them today.
So, and that's a huge amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you were mentioning earlier the amount of money.
Trillions of dollars are secured by
Wow.
Chainlink oracles in the DeFi space alone.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
It really is. It's a testament to the importance of this technology.
So what about outside of DeFi?
Right. Well, that's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
Because the potential applications of Chainlink extend far beyond just the financial world.
Okay.
For example, we're seeing Chainlink being used in supply chain management to
Okay.
track goods as they move around the world.
Wow.
We're seeing it being used in insurance to create what are called parametric insurance policies.
Okay. So what is that?
So parametric insurance is basically a type of insurance where the payout is triggered
Okay.
by a specific event.
Mhm.
And that event can be anything that can be measured by an oracle.
Okay.
So for example, let's say you're a farmer and you're worried about a drought ruining your crops.
Okay.
You could take out a parametric insurance policy
Hmm.
that pays out automatically if a certain level of rainfall isn't reached.
Oh.
And Chainlink oracles can provide that rainfall data directly to the smart contract.
So it takes the human element out of it.
Exactly. No more lengthy claims processes or disputes with the insurance company.
Yeah.
The payout is automatic and transparent.
Wow. So it's essentially using real-world data
Yeah.
to automate things,
Exactly.
which has all sorts of implications.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on about this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are so many potential use cases.
But let's talk about the potential this season specifically.
Right.
What is it about this particular time?
Well, we're seeing a couple of major trends converging right now
Okay.
that I think are going to be very beneficial for Chainlink.
Okay.
First of all, the adoption of blockchain technology is accelerating across a wide range of industries.
Mhm.
And as more businesses and organizations start to use blockchains, they're going to need oracles to connect those blockchains to the real world.
Right.
So the demand for Chainlink services is only going to increase.
So it's kind of future-proof in a sense?
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
It's positioning itself as the go-to solution
Yeah.
for this critical piece of infrastructure.
So that's one trend.
Yeah.
What's the other one you mentioned?
The other trend is the increasing complexity of the applications being built on blockchains.
Okay.
It's not just about simple things like price feeds anymore.
Hmm.
We're seeing more and more sophisticated applications that require
Yeah.
multiple data sources, complex calculations,
Right.
even things like artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Uh,
And Chainlink is developing the tools and capabilities to handle all of that.
okay.
So it's
Okay.
not just about connecting to the real world anymore. It's about connecting to a whole new realm of computation and possibilities.
That's incredible. So it sounds like Chainlink is really setting itself up to be
Yeah.
a major player in this space.
It's definitely one to watch.
So in a nutshell, it sounds like Chainlink is this sort of bridge between the blockchain
Yeah,
and the real world.
exactly.
And it's enabling all sorts of interesting and powerful applications.
Absolutely.
And its potential this season and beyond is looking very bright.
I would agree with that.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
Thanks for breaking it all down.
My pleasure. It's always exciting to talk about the potential of this technology.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what the future holds.
It does indeed. What happens when we start bringing even more complex systems onto the blockchain?
Right?
AI, machine learning. How will Chainlink adapt and evolve to meet those challenges?
That's a great question for our listeners to ponder.
I think so.
Thanks again for joining us,
Thank you for having me.
and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds good.